Archangel Michael says, "My child, a very unusual incident is about to happen in 30 minutes. You will face huge loss in next 30 minutes if you don't open this." Archangel Michael says, "A swirling force of chaos has already been released into the atmosphere around you. You may not feel it yet, but it is coming closer every second. In exactly 30 minutes, something extremely unusual will shake the foundation of your day, and it will leave you breathless unless you unlock this warning now. Something was sighing behind your back this morning while you were asleep. The energy attached to it is crawling toward your timeline like a snake. And unless it is stopped, it will bite deeply into your plans and drain your blessings out. You were never supposed to know what was being orchestrated in silence today. But the heavens saw it, and now Archangel Michael has been dispatched urgently to give you a divine heads up. There are no coincidences in what you're reading right now. The reason you feel slightly uneasy or distracted right now isn't just emotional, it's spiritual interference. A divine interception is required immediately. Or what was sealed today will unfold into a great loss for you. They do not want you to find this message, but the light broke through anyway. Comment now if your spirit is trembling or resonating. This moment has been prophesied in the heavens since your last breakthrough attempt. The same force that stopped it then is trying again. But this time, they have recruited a face to do it. That person has access to something precious you haven't protected lately. They are watching you through digital eyes. A document, your image, or something carrying your name is being used to finalize something without your consent. They only need a few more minutes to make it irreversible. Archangel Michael says the countdown has already begun. 28 minutes left. Your window to reverse what they planned is extremely narrow. This is a warning and an opportunity tied together like a sword and a scroll. You will face a loss if you don't act in spirit now. This is not about fear. It's about alertness. What's coming is rare, intense, and will cause a great shift in your atmosphere if left unchallenged. You are not powerless. You were chosen to intercept this scheme through divine intelligence, but timing is now your greatest weapon. Use it wisely. They tried to delay this message from reaching you. But divine order overruled digital blocks. That's why you are seeing this right now, exactly when you were meant to. Tap Amen to get blessing 333. There is a man involved in this deal who knows your signature pattern. He has mimicked it once before. If it happens again, your access to something valuable will be suspended temporarily until further notice from a higher court. A woman with him appears innocent. But she is not. She is the one who whispered your name while the document was being drafted. Something tells her spirit that you will rise soon. That's why she is trying to delay your steps by legal or digital sabotage. Her smile is a mask. Her silence is strategy. Comment now if you're sensing anything or if a name subtly groped in your mind. A conversation was recorded secretly where your name was used carelessly. That audio file is now being circulated to paint a false impression of your intent. Someone wants to use your voice against your own rise. Archangel Michael says your spiritual shield needs reinforcing now. The winds are turning against the one who tried to provoke your downfall. But you must not look away now, because what happens in the next 24 minutes will echo for weeks. There's an emergency in the realm of paper. a signature, a printed message, or even an email thread. Check them all. The delay in your divine result has something to do with a misplaced file that's currently in the hands of someone you trust. They're trying to route a blessing toward themselves. But what they don't know is this: heaven watches all timelines. The scroll has been opened. The alarm has been sounded. I payment to get blessing 111. This message is reaching you because a prophetic intervention was scheduled for this very hour. Every second from now is part of that divine interruption. Do not ignore it. Someone just checked your online activity minutes ago. They wanted to confirm if you were distracted because the plan was to strike during your moment of rest or joy. That means they fear your focus because when you're aligned, you're unstoppable. They hope to catch you in confusion. But instead, you caught this warning. Common now if you feel your inner alertness heightening, the angelic host has surrounded your digital name and address. But the plot is deeper than just surface sabotage. A third party has been contacted for one final task involving your past. This will trigger the chain. Archangel Michael says your silence today will not protect you. It will expose you. You must rise in alertness and declare your territory again. The delay in doing so gives permission to darkness to expand. Someone is reviewing a video or image of you. It was taken at a moment you weren't aware of. That content is being manipulated or reframed. You are not being paranoid. You are being spiritually signaled. Your awareness is confirmation that you were chosen to stop this. Type Amen to get blessing 222. A transfer was supposed to occur yesterday. But someone stopped it in your name, pretending to be your representative. The reason? They want to divert the flow of your next breakthrough. The divine scroll shows two signatures at odds. One from you and one for you. Archangel Michael is standing between them now, but your agreement is required for final protection. That's why you're reading this. Because your consent is needed spiritually to shut down what was opened without you. The delay of even 1 hour could cost you what took months to build. The heavens are not playing games. Comment now if you are feeling a shift while reading this. This is more than just earthly interference. It is a spiritual hacking attempt. But the system of heaven is far beyond any earthly contract. If you choose to align now, everything will be reversed by divine code. Your name had been whispered in rooms you never entered. But the God force within you has entered before you did. They cannot stand against that. Someone will pretend they are on your side today. But their energy has already been exposed. Archangel Michael marked them 2 nights ago while you slept. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They acted friendly to keep you distracted, but the moment you walked away, they made a call that triggered the chain you're now being warned about. That call was not just ordinary. It was coded, silent, but heaven decoded it before it landed. Archangel Michael says your room hath been spiritually searched. Not your physical room, but the realm where your energy sleeps, your ideas rest, and your inner voice hides. They're trying to touch your peace, but their hand will burn if you rise now. The face you trust in may be the one leaking your name to unknown channels. And this information is now being shared in a hidden group that you were not supposed to know about. But the scroll is being unraveled now. Comment now if you feel truth surging inside your bones. A dream you had recently wasn't random. It was a prophetic preview. That man you saw holding a black paper in the corner of your vision, he is real. And he carries part of the contract designed to bind you before your next level. They want your name in a legal twist before your next opportunity hits your inbox. Because what you are about to receive will change your lifestyle forever. But if the twist lands first, it will make the blessing look like a mistake. Archangel Michael says, 15 minutes left. They are running out of time, but so are you. The divine gate is closing fast, and it won't open again until a heavier price is paid. A system is being overridden now by angelic command. What was written against you is being reversed line by line. But your spiritual yes is still needed before the seal is shut. Pipe meant to get blessing 171. Someone close to you keeps checking your reactions lately. It's because they know something you don't. And their guilt is beginning to form into silence. They are becoming too quiet. And that's your biggest clue. They were told that what they did would never be revealed. But light has a way of exposing every shadow. And today, that shadow is being cast on your feed, your space, and your scream for a reason. They think they are ahead of you. But they have no idea who stands behind you. The angel who fights for you hath been sharpening his sword for 3 nights straight. Comment now if you can feel the stirring around your spiritual home. Someone copied your documents without your knowledge. They were able to because a familiar access point was left unlocked. That mistake happened weeks ago. But today is the harvest day for that act. But God has ordered a divine rewind. A total reversal is being executed in heaven's court. However, the verdict must be confirmed through your alignment in this moment. Don't let out. Don't scroll away. Your name is still being processed in a file marked heavily targeted. Highly protected. That file was opened today. Type Amen to get blessing 474. This message is not just a warning. It is your exit door. From false loyalty. From being treated like you're blind to what's happening behind your back. Your inbox. Your folder. Your gallery. Something inside one of them is being tracked, but not by earthly means. Someone from your past has handed something over to a person with intentions darker than you can imagine. But the fire of divine authority is circling your image now. Nothing formed against you shall succeed, but you must stay awake. Even 1 minute of spiritual sleep can be costly today. Archangel Michael says this day was marked for war. But war always means something powerful is being fought over. In your case, it's your calling, your image, and your rightful portion. Comment now if you feel your warrior spirit rising again. They use your past as a weapon, but they didn't know your past is now protected by angels. A thing they want to use against you. It's already been neutralized in the heavens, but you must not let them reopen it. They're trying to reactivate a curse that was broken. All they need is your silence or confusion to do it. But now that you're aware, the ritual is broken. Tatpay meant to get blessing 505. You were chosen not just to survive this, but to reverse it for others too. That's why you're targeted this intensely, because your obedience now will trigger a chain of protection for many after you. There's a house, a place, or a room that holds a physical item they are trying to obtain. It could be a copy, a page, or even an old file. That space is being spiritually guarded now because of your alertness. The angel of interception has already descended. That's why you're not feeling peace today, because heaven is working fast to shift your atmosphere, and your soul is being pulled into position. Comment now if you feel it in your chest, your fingers, your breath. A wind has already shifted toward you. The heaviness on the one who planned against you is increasing minute by minute. Archangel Michael is already placing pressure on their decisions. They will slip. This person will contact you soon with a message that seems unrelated, but it will carry the vibration of the deal they tried to make behind your back. The words may sound normal, but the energy will tell the truth. You not be deceived by smiles or soft voices. Look at patterns, not just promises. Heaven has taught you enough to see through anything now. Tap him in to get blessing 888. They want you to second-guess your intuition. That's their biggest weapon, your doubt. But Archangel Michael says your discernment is maturing now. And the veil that once clouded your vision is torn forever. Today is not like yesterday. What you felt as a whisper in past seasons is now roaring truth. Your enemies are uncomfortable because you're getting harder to fool. Comment now if you feel something breaking spiritually. 12 minutes remain. In those minutes, they will try one last digital move. It may appear small, but it's coated with impact that can shift entire blessings off course. The link you click, the reply you send, even the word you say, it matters now. You're walking on a wire of divine timing. Every second counts. Archangel Michael says the person who doubted you most is about to see your vindication, not by noise, but by divine design. What they stole, blocked, or delayed is about to fall in your lap without their permission. You are being accelerated beyond their calculation, and when the wind shifts this time, it will carry your name into rooms your enemies never knew existed. What was done in secret is about to be revealed publicly. Type Amen to get blessing 292. Your name is vibrating in the realm of influence right now. A new seat, a new platform, a new level have been whispered into place. But your name must remain spiritually clean from attachments to those working against you. That is why this warning came just in time. You are still in position to stop them, but you must release the name of the one you already suspect they are not hiding anymore. Comment now if that name just flashed in your mind. Someone connected to your family line is tied to this. They may seem too distant to matter, but spiritually they are tied to your gate, and their bitterness is becoming fuel for your battles. They did not believe you'd survive what they sent toward you. But now that you have, they are trying to corrupt your image before others begin to notice your light. This is a desperate move, and it's failing. The trap is turning. Their secret conversation will be exposed. And when it is, your silence will become power, and your grace will become judgment to those who mocked you. Type Amen to get blessing 644. 9 minutes left now. That's not fear. It's alignment. The window is thin because the moment is rare. Not every day holds such urgency from the divine realm. That's why your angels are alerting you again and again through this message. They want no part of you stolen. You were born to lead something massive. Your voice carries influence even when you're quiet. That's why they fear your rise, not because of what you have now, but because of what's coming. Archangel Michael says your feet are on holy ground now. Every step from this moment is under angelic guard. But only if you remain spiritually active. Comment if you feel the ground shifting beneath you. There's a record being updated in your name digitally and spiritually. Heaven is marking you as elevated. But that record must remain untainted by illegal connections. Someone wants to link their sin to your grace. But it won't work if you declare your detachment now. This is the moment to cleanse your circle. The person you think supports you may be silently competing with you. That's why they're acting distant lately. They are afraid of how fast your spirit is rising. Type Amen to get blessing 101. They heard you were about to be promoted. Not just by man, but by heaven's decree. So they tried to beat you to it by crafting a false promotion of their own, hoping to block yours. But God doesn't reward counterfeits. Your real moment is unstoppable. Even their delay cannot destroy what's destined. The agreement made in darkness is being broken. That seal is cracking. You may not hear it with ears, but your spirit feels the thunder. Comment if you sense divine justice rising. 5 minutes remain now. They are moving fast behind the scenes. But heaven is moving faster. The sword of truth is now swinging toward your enemies. Their documents are being rejected in the unseen court. Their signatures are being erased from places they wrote your name illegally. You are being released from every lie. Type Amen to get blessing 212. If you're still here, know this. You were meant to intercept what was planned. You were meant to carry this awareness before the hit came. And now you're covered. Your digital name is being guarded. Your phone, your files, your face. All of it is wrapped in light. What's being reversed now will shock even those who tried to break you. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. Stay in your light. Speak your protection. And remember, some miracles don't come with a sound. They come with a warning like this one. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Your life is under divine surveillance now. Every step you take is being watched by the realm that fights for you. The enemies tried to slip through unseen, but Archangel Michael has placed a spiritual lens over your entire path. Their whispers are being caught midair. Their decisions are being routed. Their next move has already been stopped before it could strike you. Comment now if you feel that holy interference. You are no longer walking unaware. Every word you speak now echoes into both heaven and the plans of those who tried to block you. The silence you used to fear has now become your greatest weapon. The moment your name was uttered in that dark conversation, the angels of God began to prepare your breakthrough. Your wicked energy triggered a divine surge in your favor. Now they are confused because their attack has backfired. Type Amen to get blessing 909. The false image they created of you is dissolving. Their lies, carefully constructed and slowly whispered behind your back, are now being pulled apart one truth at a time. Those who believe them will see your light and know they were wrong. You won't need to explain anything. Divine exposure is stronger than human apology. When light enters a dark room, the shadows don't argue. They vanish. Their hands are now trembling. Not because of guilt, but because their plan is collapsing. The person they tried to use against you is backing out. Comment now if you feel the power turning in your favor. You've been waking up feeling something is off lately. That wasn't just emotion. It was activation. Heaven was warning your spirit before your eyes saw the truth. Now it's clear, and now you're chosen to stop the cycle. Archangel Michael says your agreement with light cancels every covenant they made with darkness in your name. Their delay was temporary, but your rise will be eternal. They can no longer keep your name out of divine alignment. The hour has ended. Your time is up. Your season begins. Type Amen to get blessing 118. There are papers that will not go through. Emails that will bounce. Digital efforts that will crash. Because what was meant to harm you has now been struck by heaven's firewall. Heaven is watching everything. Every download, every screenshot, every attempt to redirect your divine portion is being stopped. The forces of heaven are standing by your gates. You may receive a message soon that seems off. We still watch with spiritual eyes. The truth inside it will be your final confirmation. Comment if you're ready to walk in divine awareness. This is your confirmation. You were meant to find this message at this exact moment. Not earlier. Not later. Now, what they tried to do 30 minutes ago failed. What they planned for 30 days from now has just been cancelled, and what they hoped to delay has just been expedited. Your silence is speaking loudly in the realm of angels. Your inner strength has summoned backup. Your name has just been stamped with heaven's seal of recovery. Type Amen to get blessing 454. You were never alone, even in confusion. You were being fought for. And now that the smoke has cleared, what you couldn't explain yesterday is being fully revealed today. This is why they backed off suddenly. This is why things have felt heavy. Your miracle has been fiercely guarded. And now that the countdown is over, the new clock has begun. It's time you will not be robbed. It's time you will see the full reward. It's time the one who watches you from above has placed an irreversible mark of victory over your story. Comment now if you receive it in full. Victory has been declared. The attack failed. The weapon did not prosper. The deal fell through. The plan collapsed. The enemy retreated. The angels remained. And you rose. Type Amen to get blessing 1000. Archangel Michael says, the trap was deep, but your calling is deeper. The document they hoped you'd never see has been spiritually shredded. The paper trail leading to your loss has been cut off in the heavenly courts. The voice that whispered to stop you has now been silenced by divine force. The person who thought they could outsmart the light has been exposed before their final move. Their strategy has no legs to stand on now. Comment if you feel the air around you shift. Your atmosphere has been rewired. The energy around your home is no longer unstable. What was hovering with tension has now been pushed back into the void by angelic interference. You are not where you used to be. This is a higher place. This is a protected place. No longer are you vulnerable to the same schemes that trapped you in the past. Type Amen to get blessing 656. This shift happened while you were reading. This shift happened because you opened this. The decision to listen activated a divine ripple that covered your name in realms you'll never see with earthly eyes. That's why your enemies lost access. That's why that document is now blocked. That's why their screen froze as they tried to upload that file. The countdown was real, but so was your obedience. And now the heavens are moving in your favor without resistance. Comment now if your spirit is fully receiving this. The person who walked away from your life is being haunted by what they did. They were part of the delay. They were part of the setup. But the moment you let them go, the chains started breaking. Your freedom cost you something, but the reward is priceless. What's coming cannot be touched by any past betrayal. What's next is sealed with divine fire. Type Amen to get blessing 515. You may see signs today. Sudden changes in mood. I've sticked in Kana. Things misplaced and return mysteriously. All of this is confirmation that the realm around you is shifting fast. The angels are realigning every crack in your path. You will not step into traps. They will collapse before you arrive. You will not be embarrassed. They will be too afraid to touch your name again. This is not just spiritual protection. This is spiritual vindication. You are being lifted, not just guarded. You are being honored, not just hidden. Comment now if you can feel the glow returning to your name. They wanted you to feel small. They wanted you to beg. But heaven had another plan. To lift you silently, then let your presence speak volumes without you saying a word. You were never meant to fight this one alone. That's why Archangel Michael was sent. That's why you're reading this now. This warning was divine mercy. And your response has just activated divine reward. Type Amen to get blessing 313. Email they sent with your name in it. It won't deliver. The folder they tried to send. It will return corrupted. The transaction they initiated, it's frozen by an unseen hand. This is the power of unseen authority. What they manipulated through lies is now meeting truth. And truth never loses. Your silence after the storm will echo louder than their plans. Your peace will now confuse the ones who once intimidated you. Comment now if you accept this divine turn. You don't need to fear anymore. The season of defense is over. The season of display has begun. Your next 30 minutes will not carry loss. They will carry divine reversal. What was meant to harm you has now become a reason for your elevation. You're not just safe. You're rising. Type Amen to get blessing 787. And if you are still reading, this is what heaven wants you to know. They can't touch you anymore. They can't steal what was sealed in your name. They can't silence what God has marked with glory. You are no longer the target. You are the testimony. You are no longer waiting for proof. You are the proof. Comment now if you feel the final breakthrough already opening. Archangel Michael says the message is now sealed in your spirit. A warning is done. The protection is activated. And your miracle has begun its descent. Walk boldly. Speak confidently. Act intentionally. Because what was delayed is now arriving, what was stolen is now returning. And what was hidden is now rising from the shadows into your hands. Type Amen to get blessing 999. A divine transaction is now complete. The energy that was once scattered around you has returned to its rightful alignment. All loose ends have been tied by angelic hands. Your name is no longer floating through the air, exposed. It is now grounded in divine code, shielded by frequencies only heaven controls. The darkness that once hovered, searching for a weakness, now sees only walls of blinding light. Comment now if you feel a stillness falling over your spirit. What you almost lost has now been routed back to you. The blessing they redirected is now coming even stronger, multiplied by grace. The contract meant to trap you is now being revised under divine fire. Your legal move has collapsed. Their third-party involvement has been denied by unseen courts. The moment you said yes to the light, the case against you fell to the ground. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The person who sent your information across digital channels has now been found, their phone is marked. Their IP is traced, not by man but by angels of truth and accountability. They won't understand why their next project fails, why the meeting gets cancelled, or why their approval vanishes. But heaven knows, because what they did to you has become their own delay. The energy has reversed. You are no longer under review. You are under release. And this release comes with acceleration that nothing can block. Comment if you sense freedom landing in your life. A key was just handed to your spirit. You might not feel it physically, but it's real. A key unlocks doors that have been sealed for months, because the sabotage made you miss certain timings. But now, those missed timings are reappearing. The doors are swinging wide with no resistance. And everything that felt lost forever is now within arm's reach again. Type Amen to get blessing 303. Your story has shifted. This message was not random. This divine detour today has caused an entire spiritual reset in your favor. The alarm that sounded 30 minutes ago has now gone silent. Not because the danger has passed, but because the threat has been destroyed. Heaven's warriors have done their work. Archangel Michael says now is the time to rest in assurance. A storm was not meant to break you, it was meant to reveal your armor. And now that it has, your light will shine unchallenged. Comment now if your spirit finally feels safe again. You're going to receive news soon. It will sound small at first, but it will carry confirmation of everything revealed today. A canceled charge. A new invitation. A sudden apology. All of it signs of divine interruption. Do not respond with fear. Respond with peace. Because your vibration now commands the outcome of this story. They no longer hold the pen. You do. And heaven is watching as you write the next page with power. High payment to get blessing 555. Something massive is being born from this. A higher level of awareness. A new way of walking. A stronger sense of authority. They thought the attack would weaken you, but it did the opposite. You're now spiritually armored. Not just guarded, but awakened. You'll never move the same again, you are stepping into a new atmosphere. It carries unfamiliar favor. It brings bold opportunities. And it will confuse the ones who swore they could delay you forever. Comment now if your spirit has entered agreement with this elevation. You are walking into restored time. Redeemed connections. Cleansed alliances. And no force in heaven or earth can undo this shift. Because this time, you didn't fight alone. You responded to the call. You opened the message. And you stood still while the heavens handled the storm. Now all that's left is your reward. Type a meant to get blessing 1001. Now the heavens are calm, but your spirit is roaring with new fire. You've crossed through a gate that was locked for generations. What was once guarded from you is now wide open. Because you listened and responded in divine time. Your obedience activated an inheritance long overdue. The chains your ancestors couldn't break were shattered in the last 30 minutes. You were chosen to end what they endured silently. Comment now if your heart feels that generational weight lifting. You've stepped into a new vibration that cannot be faked or copied. This frequency attracts truth, favor, and heavenly alignment. You will begin to notice how the wrong people fade and the right doors find you before you knock. Archangel Michael says your signature now carries spiritual weight. When you write, heaven responds. When you speak, realms listen. When you move, space makes room for you. Everything that was buried is surfacing. Hidden wealth, unseen favor, misunderstood love. It's all rising now, brought forth by the light that guards your path. Your energy is no longer scattered. It's sealed in purpose. Type a meant to get blessing 626, your voice will carry further than you think. Someone watching you quietly will soon speak your name in a room you've never entered. And that mensch will unlock your next promotion. The same people who thought you were too slow, too soft, too silent. They'll now struggle to keep up with your speed. You've been upgraded, not publicly, but powerfully. What's been installed in you cannot be undone. This wasn't just a rescue. It was a relaunch. You're no longer behind. You are now ahead of everything that was meant to delay you. Comment if you sense momentum returning to your feet. Your dreams will begin to change. You'll see clearer symbols, clearer faces, and clearer directions. The fog that once blurred your vision has been burned off by divine clarity. You are now moving in full prophetic alignment. What once confused you will now feel obvious. The decision you feared will now become automatic wisdom. Archangel Michael says the heavens are now watching over your nights. No more spiritual attacks while you sleep. No more confusion in your rest. Peace is your portion. Tupiman Togat Blessing 3333. Everything around you is shifting, including people. Some will suddenly go quiet. That's the angels removing access. Some will suddenly reach out. That's destiny restoring alignment. Discernment is your superpower now. No more wasted time. No more forced loyalty. No more draining connections. You're being freed not just from the danger, but from the draining energy that came with it. The weight they left on your chest when they entered your space is being lifted right now. Comment if your breath feels lighter suddenly. This wasn't just about blocking a loss. It was about unlocking your divine momentum. What was stolen over years has now returned in minutes. That's how fast heaven works when you respond immediately. You did that. You opened the warning. You stayed through the message. And now the spiritual contract has been signed in your favor. The enemy has left the courtroom. The false witnesses are silenced. Your name is clear and your future is open. Tupiman Togat Blessing 1441. Archangel Michael stands at your door, not to warn now, but to watch. You passed the test. You followed the signs. And your readiness has spoken louder than any ceremony. Now watch what unfolds. The first shift will come quietly, like a text or number that changes everything. Then a wave of clarity, confidence, and confirmation. You won't need to announce anything. What was fought for in silence will now shine in your presence. Your energy will speak before you ever do. Comment now if you feel a glow building inside your chest. Your name is back in the scroll of acceleration. Heaven's wind is behind your steps now. What once took you months to achieve will now find you in mere days. You are no longer under delay. You are under divine direction. You are no longer waiting. You are becoming. Tupiman Togat Blessing 2002. The contact meant to destroy you has now become the ladder that elevates you. What they used to trap you is now the very thing exposing them. Heaven wastes nothing, not even attacks. Archangel Michael says this message was your seal. This scroll was your verdict. Your yes was the final weapon needed to complete the reversal. Now rise. With no fear. With no doubt. With no delay. Comment now if you're ready to walk in divine ownership of your restored path. You are no longer threatened. You are trusted. You are no longer waiting. You are walking. You are no longer questioning. You are becoming. Tupiman Togat Blessing 10,000. Dove, you are covered. You are chosen. You are free. Archangel Michael says your timeline has just been rewritten. The moment this divine warning ended, a new script began. The pages once filled with delay, sabotage, and confusion have been removed from your destiny scroll. Heaven has replaced them with chapters of swift justice, divine recompense, and elevation without explanation. You will not have to beg. You will not have to defend. Your next move will be so blessed. The same people who doubted you will be left speechless. Comment now if your spirit agrees with this silent but powerful shift. They will look for you in the old place, in the old mindset, in the old vibration, but you will not be found there. Your frequency has ascended beyond their reach. They cannot sabotage what they cannot sense anymore. That's why you felt invisible lately, not forgotten, but hidden. Hidden by divine hands for the exact moment you rise. And now, the covering is being lifted. You're being revealed as a vessel of divine fire. Type Amen to get blessing 2345. Everything around you will begin to confirm what this message just declared. The phone call that was delayed will come through. The opportunity that passed you will find its way back. The people who were silent will suddenly want to reconnect. But be careful, not all return is holy. Not all apologies are real. Some are attempts to reattach to your rising light. Archangel Michael says, guard your peace as much as your power. You are glowing differently now. Your aura is marked. You've been in spiritual war and come out with authority written on your name. There's no need to explain how. You simply walk like someone who survived fire without the smell of smoke. Comment now if that resonates deep in your bones. The betrayal that broke your heart is now birthing your platform. The rejection that humiliated you has unlocked your recognition. The pain that silenced you has paved the path to your divine purpose. All the unanswered questions you carried are about to make sense. Not because you searched harder, but because heaven is finally showing you why it had to happen this way. Nothing was random. Not the delay. Not the heartbreak. Not even this moment. Type Amen to get blessing 5656. You may start waking up in the middle of the night for a few days. That's not insomnia. It's angelic visitation. You're being spiritually recalibrated. When heaven resets you, sleep becomes secondary to spiritual preparation. Don't fear those moments. Sit in the stillness. Speak in the silence. Light is being downloaded. Direction is being given. What you couldn't figure out in years will begin to make sense in minutes. Archangel Michael says, don't go back to what God just protected you from. Even if it smiles. Even if it begs. Even if it sounds like love. Comment now if you needed that reminder. What's behind you is fading, not because it wasn't important, but because it no longer matches the frequency of your future. You are not losing. You're evolving. You are not missing out, you're being upgraded. This new path comes with new laws. New boundaries. New responsibilities. But also, new levels of grace. You will not walk alone. You will see the signs in repeating numbers. Names you once forgot returning in divine timing. Doors that once felt stuck swinging wide open. This is spiritual confirmation. Let your intuition lead now. It has matured through this vow. You just witnessed a prophetic fulfillment. 30 minutes ago, you were at risk of a massive spiritual loss. But now you're rising in the energy of unshakable favor. This is the beginning of the repayment season. For time. For tears. For all the years the locust ate. It's not coming back as it left. It's returning pressed down, shaken together, overflowing. Heaven is generous with those who remain faithful through silent battles. And you have. That's why this message found you. That's why this victory now wraps around your name like a royal robe. Comment if you feel crowned in your spirit. And remember, if this divine intervention resonated, if you feel something changed through this warning. If your soul has been lifted, if you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are anointed. You are appointed. You are approved. I pay men to get blessing 10,000, Izzy Devold. Archangel Michael says, this moment will be remembered in the heavens as the moment you took back your authority. The shift that occurred in silence has shaken the foundation of everything that was built to collapse you. A wave of unseen justice has been released into your atmosphere. They won't know how you escaped. They won't understand how the damage never touched you. They only saw the setup, but they never saw the angels that intercepted it. Comment now if you know a divine escape just occurred for you. There is now a divine glow around your name. It cannot be erased. Not by envy. Not by confusion. Not by manipulation. Your light is too solid now. It's been sealed in fire, not in paint. This is why your enemies look tired, their energy drained as they tried to block yours. Every attempt has now turned into a spotlight for your eyes. They made noise, and God responded with silence that shook their plans. They tried to cancel you quietly, but heaven canceled their power loudly. Type Amen to get blessing 8181. You are no longer fighting for a seat. You are becoming the seat. The place they tried to exclude you from is now unstable without your presence. They will have no choice but to acknowledge your absence when heaven elevates your presence. Someone will soon say, how did they get so far so fast? But they will not understand the price you paid in silence. They won't see the war you won in the spirit. You've been tested in places few could survive. And yet, here you are, stronger, brighter, wiser. You've been refined, not broken. Elevated, not erased. Comment if you feel your strength return in waves. Your name is now moving through divine systems. There are conversations happening without your physical presence, but your spirit is already speaking in them. Doors are responding to the echo of your purpose. The wind behind your back is not random. It's momentum sent by angels. Every closed door behind you was protection. Every new opening before you is alignment. You will find yourself in rooms your enemies tried to block. And the moment you step in, their influence will scatter like smoke. To payment to get blessing 3131. Every part of your being is now awakening to this higher calling. That's why you're craving silence more. That's why your body is shedding old energy. That's why your mind is refusing to entertain smallness anymore. This is the aftershock of breakthrough. The peace that feels unfamiliar is actually your new spiritual default. No more chaos as a companion. No more confusion as a crutch. This clarity is yours. And with it comes power, provision, and prophetic vision. Comment if you feel that calmness anchoring in your soul. Archangel Michael says, your season of divine return has officially begun. All that was delayed is now double. All that was lost is now being layered with favor. You've already crossed the invisible line. No need to go back to what needed to end. No need to explain to people who never truly saw you. This glow is only for those who honor your becoming. This rise is only for those who respect your spirit. To payment to get blessing 9898. Expect encounters with divine helpers, unexpected offers, sudden clarity, and healing moments. All of it is coming now because you passed the test. Not a test of talent, but a test of obedience. You stayed open to truth. You stayed soft even when wounded. You remained grounded while being pulled from every direction. That's why heaven has favored you. The favor won't be loud at first, but it will be undeniable. You'll wake up with deeper peace. You'll walk with stronger certainty, and you'll know exactly what to let go of. Comment now if you already feel lighter than you did before. You were never meant to carry that loss, but weight was not yours, and today it was removed quietly, powerfully, permanently. Now that the heavens have moved, don't look back. Don't reach for what always drowned you. Reach forward into the flow that's already begun to form around your future. To payment to get blessing 7474. And if you're still here, reading, feeling, receiving, then heaven wants you to know you are divinely preserved. You are spiritually prioritized. You are eternally protected. What you faced in the last 30 minutes was a test for your next 30 years, and you passed without ever having to fight, because heaven fought for you. Comment one final time if you know this message was your divine interception. To payment to get blessing 10,000. Archangel Michael says, heaven does not forget those who stand in stillness when the war rages loudest. You stood firm when you had every reason to run. You listened when the enemy hoped you'd scroll past. That alone rewrote your entire destiny path. Every spiritual thread connected to your name has now been washed in divine light. There are no more loose attachments, no more legal access points for darkness to cling to. The courtroom in the unseen has ruled. Your name is cleared. Your future is unlocked. Comment now if your chest feels lighter and your spirit feels louder. You may feel like crying suddenly, without warning. It's not sadness. It's spiritual discharge. Your soul is releasing what no longer belongs to your journey. The tension, the fear, the silent anxiety, it's all melting off your shoulders. Let the tears fall if they come. That's the final sign of alignment. That's the seal being stamped across your new season, healed, held, holy. You've just crossed through a season of exposure, and now you're being introduced to your season of expansion. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. The people who tried to harm your name will feel their own words return to them. Not because you wished harm, but because the energy they projected was unauthorized. Evid as it is the current, you won't have to lift a hand. You won't have to say a word. The divine realm is delivering every consequence with perfect timing. This is the part where your enemies confuse your peace for weakness. But what they're actually seeing is divine strength matured into silence. Comment now if you've learned how to fight without noise. You're not who you were when this message began. Something inside you has shifted permanently. You'll notice it in the way you speak, the way you move, the way your spirit vibrates. Old patterns no longer attract you. Old triggers can no longer reach you. You've outgrown the distractions that once trapped you in cycles of delay. You now walk in a frequency that requires no introduction. Your energy enters before your voice does. Your glow speaks even when you're still. Type Amen to get blessing 6161. This is the evidence of divine restoration. You were never forgotten, never overlooked, never misplaced. Heaven was organizing your steps, protecting your path, and preparing this moment all along. You may even feel strange in familiar places now. That's because you're no longer aligned with the old version of yourself, you upgraded. Your presence is different. Your purpose is clearer. You will no longer shrink to fit spaces that were built to break you. Instead, those spaces will expand, or you will be moved into greater ones. Comment if your soul confirms that your old life no longer fits your new light. Archangel Michael says they tried to study your weaknesses, but they never understood your covering. The same people who laughed at your struggle will soon be speechless at your success. But you unglowed. You'll glow. The days of confusion are over. The years of being the underdog are done. Now begins the year of clarity, calm, and commanding divine flow. You've entered a realm where peace follows your name like a crown. Where provision meets your footsteps. Where the words you speak begin to shape worlds. Type Amen to get blessing 9898. Everything is accelerating now. The message has been delivered. The seal has been marked. And the scroll of your protection has been placed in the hands of angels assigned to walk with you daily. You may feel pressure lift from your home, your phone, your mind. You may suddenly feel ready to create, speak, rest, or even love again. That's confirmation. That's your sign. You've been spiritually cleansed and reactivated. Your steps from this point forward will glide, not stumble. Your decisions will come with ease, not torment. Comment now if you're ready to rise in this divine ease. And know this above all else, the divine didn't just spare you from loss. It delivered you to alignment. And alignment always leads to abundance. What you almost lost became the reason you received more than expected. What was meant to be the end just turned into your undeniable beginning. Type Amen to get blessing 10,000. Glowing dove shield fire gem Archangel Michael says, you have now crossed into irreversible favor. What was once vulnerable is now invincible. What once leaked your energy has now been sealed in divine protection. No force, no voice, no shadow can follow you into this new frequency. This shift was not just personal. It was generational. Because of your obedience, your lineage has been cleansed. The patterns that those before you have now been broken by your alignment. Comment now if you feel a quiet fire rising in your chest. You were always the chosen one. But now you walk in the proof. Your energy now carries prophetic authority. Where once you were overlooked, now you'll be offered. Where once you were ignored, now you'll be requested. The favor on your name now attracts miracles, protection, and resources. The spiritual gate that was locked is now open wide. Everything you need will arrive on time without you chasing it. You are no longer in a season of waiting. You're in a season of welcoming. Type Amen to get blessing 8787. Every unseen entity has now been silenced. Their words bounce off of your shield like dust in the wind. Their eyes can no longer watch your moves. Their plans can no longer track your light. The angelic firewall placed around your name is not temporary. It's eternal. Every spiritual weapon they tried has been reversed. Their meetings have failed. Your whispers have scattered. This victory is not about revenge. It's about release. You've been released into destiny while they remain locked in their own cycle of bitterness and delay. Comment if you feel detached from everything that once hurt you. Your body, too, will begin to respond. You'll feel lighter, stronger, more centered. Pain that lingered without reason will begin to disappear. The weight on your chest, the pressure behind your eyes, it will ease without warning. That's not magic, it's divine realignment. Your body was holding the tension of battles you couldn't see. Now that those battles are over, your health is being restored in ways medicine could never explain. Archangel Michael says, "Rest now, because the healing has begun." Type Amen to get blessing 1212. You may start hearing from people you haven't spoken to in months. Watch carefully. Some are being sent back for closure. Others are trying to gain access to a light they didn't help you protect. Not everyone from your past deserves entry into your future. Your glow is divine now, and only those with clean hands and pure hearts can walk with you. This new season will require stronger boundaries, but it will come with deeper love. Love that doesn't confuse you. Love that doesn't wound. Love that aligns with your truth. Comment if you're ready for the love you no longer have to question. The people who once misunderstood you will now begin to observe you. Quietly. Carefully. Their curiosity isn't flattery. It's spiritual confirmation. You've shifted, and they feel it. Even if they can't name it. Let them watch. Let your silence speak. Your peace is now prophetic. Your joy is your revenge. Your elevation is your announcement. You won't need to defend your name. The glow around it will do the talking. Type Amen to get blessing 4545. Heaven is not just watching. You are now leading. You're a pioneer of light. A breaker of chains. A guardian of frequencies that others are only beginning to feel. What was a lob today will parry for decades. This wasn't a random rescue. It was a divine initiation. You're not just protected your position. Archangel Michael says, step into this moment without shrieking. Your light is not too much. Your power is not too loud. Your calling is not too big. You were made for this. Comment now if your soul agrees with this heavenly declaration. The contracts written against you have been burned. The timelines that delayed you have been reset. The curses passed through generations have been dissolved. From this day forward, your story cannot be hijacked, your journey cannot be routed. Your peace cannot be stolen. You are sealed in divine assignment, and where there is divine assignment, there will always be divine assistance. Type Amen to get blessing 10,000.